When You Flinch. Katsuki Bakugo. You and Katsuki have been together for a while, and of course, with his explosive attitude and your quiet, rebellious nature, you'll got into fights often, but none of them serious, usually about food or cuddles, sometimes even over what blanket you sleep with. This was another one of those fights, but slightly different. You had been trying to hang out and cuddle with Katsuki all day, but refused or just ignored you, which was odd. When school ended, you went over to his dorm and knocked on the door. Katsuki opened it, looking pissed off, while leaning against the door frame. "What do you want, YN?" "Why won't you cuddle me?" You whined in a playful voice. He wasn't looking at you. "Because you're fucking annoying." He spat. Your smile faded. He had never called you annoying with such spite. "Babe, did you have a bad day?" you said, going to touch his arm to comfort him. "No! Leave me the fuck alone," he yelled, smacking your hand away. You took a step back, holding your hand. You looked at him, hurt. He had never smacked your hand before. "Why are you acting so mean?" you declared. "Because I'm a damn bully," he yelled, walking into his room. Your eyes had widened with sympathy, and you walked into the room, closing the door behind you. "Babe," you started. "Shut the fuck up," he yelled, turning and taking a step towards you. You backed up, caught off guard by the sudden outburst. He continued walking towards you, yelling as you backed up and ran into the door. Katsuki stopped and went to brush his hair back from frustration as his hand lifted up. You flinched and cowered against the door, causing a quiet bang. Katsuki looked at you with wide eyes. You were cowering, ready to be hit. He put his hand down. "I'm sorry," he whispered. It didn't sound directed to anyone. "I'm sorry," he said again, crouching down and pulling you into a hug. You turned and buried your face into his chest, crying. "No, I'm sorry," you said, sobbing. "I shouldn't have pushed you," you continued to say. "No, don't be sorry. I should have just listened to you," he said. Tears were visible in his eyes. "I've just been so stressed. I've been trying to be the best I could," he said quietly. "It's okay, babe." You said this, looking up at him, tears running down your face. You both sat there, comforting each other until you both fell asleep. Shoto Todoroki. You and Todoroki were an unstoppable force. Y'all never got into any arguments because of Shoto's blocked-off nature, and you both thought arguments were useless anyways. But today, something was off. Shoto's father made him more upset than usual today, and you had been trying your best to figure out why he was so upset, and tried to comfort him. Anytime you confronted him, he would just say he's fine and leave. But you knew this wasn't true. You're his girlfriend, for God's sake. So after all your classes, you went to his dorm. When you arrived, you were about to knock on the door, but it opened before you could. Your eyes met as the door opened. "What are you doing here?" Shoto said. "I wanted to see you," you told him blatantly, tired of him brushing you off. "I'm fine," Shoto said again and started to close the door. "No, you're not," you said, stopping the door with your foot and putting your hand on the door. He looked back at you coldly and opened the door for you to come in. He closed the door behind you as you walked in. "I told you, YN, I'm fine." "No, you shouldn't hide your feelings from me. I'm your girlfriend," you yelled. You both stood there looking at each other, upset. He looked away from you. You looked at him, your eyes softening. "Please, Shoto," you said, taking a step towards him. "I'm fine," he yelled, finally, glaring at you. You flinched, taking a step back and falling onto his bed. "Stop pestering me," he continued to yell, taking another step towards you. You covered your face with your arm. He opened his eyes, looking at you first with anger, Then his face softened and his eyes filled with tears. "I'm just like my father," he said, looking down at his hands. Hearing this, you opened your eyes, putting down your arm and stared at him. "No, you're not, Shoto," you said, getting up. "I should have pushed you." "No, Lion, I should have listened and opened up to you." "Oh, Shoto," you said, running and giving him a hug. You both stayed in the hug for a long time. Shoto even started playing with your hair after you fell asleep. Izuku Midoriya. You and Izuku had a bond that could not be broken. You both did everything together, except for going to the bathroom, of course. You two would rarely have fights, but they still sprung up. They were mostly about Izuku not taking care of his health, or even caring about himself during training or fights. But these were rare since you both understood and told each other everything, so when this fight happened, it was confusing for you. You and Izuku were doing some early morning training. You both weren't trying that hard, since you both were just warming up. But even then, you could tell Izuku had started pushing himself again, trying harder as if you were both fighting already. "Izuku, calm down, it's just a warm-up. Stop pushing yourself," you yelled to him from across the gym. No response came. "Izuku," you yelled again, slowly coming to a stop from your jog. He was still running back and forth, occasionally hitting the punching bag. You started walking across the gym to him. "My gosh, Izuku," you sigh. You stop in front of Izuku, who slows down to a stop before running into you. "Oh, what's up, Lion?" he questioned, tilting his head to one side like a confused puppy. "Stop trying so hard," you said, putting your hands on your hips, copying Izuku's pose. "I can't stop, Lion. Gotta try my best," he said with a big smile. You can see sweat dripping down his face. "Yeah, but you're overworking yourself already. It's just a warm-up," he said, looking at him with a more worried look. "I'm fine, Lion. Just go back to training," he said, with a smaller smile than before. The sweat has dried now. "But you're not, Izuku. You need to relax," you said, getting slightly upset. "You're trying to brush this off again. Don't you remember last time?" you thought to yourself. The last time Izuku had overworked himself, he broke both his arms and got sick from stress and a lack of eating. "Lion, I'll be fine," he said, with his smile gone. "You may be fine now, but you won't be later if you keep this up. Remember last time when you overworked yourself?" he said to him, raising her voice in the hopes it gets through to him. Izuku frowned. He didn't like thinking about that. "Listen, Lion, I hear you, I understand. I won't repeat the same mistake. Just leave me be and stop worrying so much." That's what threw you over the edge. Stop worrying? How am I supposed to stop worrying about my boyfriend? It's my job to worry. Should I just stop caring about you altogether then? You yelled at him, tears forming in your eyes. He looked at you, getting slightly upset himself. "Of course not, but sometimes you have to chill out yourself and let me get myself figured out," he said. "Just like last time," you said furiously. He looked at you hurt. You looked back, eyes wide, realizing what you said. He turned around and started to walk away. Wait, I didn't mean it," you said, running after him as you got close to him. He turned around suddenly, glaring at you, which caused you to flinch and stop right in your tracks, almost falling over, but he grabbed your wrist, looking at you in surprise. He pulled you back up and into a hug. You both stood there for a couple minutes in silence. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," you said, breaking the silence, tears falling down your face. "It's okay, Lion. I shouldn't have told you that." You both stood there for a little more, then Izuku pulled away. "Give me that beautiful smile of yours," he said with a small grin. You smiled back and kissed him. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.